Let's face it, most of us have an ant problem in our brain, an automatic negative thought problem. And this is totally normal. You are not the only one who is dealing with this. I can tell you that every single person that I have worked with in my career has this to some extent. And it's a good thing, right? These automatic negative thoughts were designed by our biology to help us survive by reinforcing things that we should and should not do in order to fit in and to survive and to stay part of the tribe. Now that we are not living out in the wild anymore, now that we're not dependent on fitting in order to survive, a lot of this is just a relic that we don't really need anymore. And for a lot of us, it's gotten out of control because our lives are so complex and we are doing so much and we're encountering so many people that our brains are overloaded and they're just clacking away up there with negative thoughts, trying to figure out how to make it all make sense. But that's not serving you. Your automatic negative thoughts are not just hurting your mind and your self confidence, they're also hurting your body. When we experience repetitive, automatic, negative thoughts, the ants, our cortisol goes up. Our body goes into fight or flight mode. We tend to shut down the parts of our human self that makes being a human is really fun. Our optimism dips, our joy dips, our health dips, right? We gain weight, we feel stressed out, our skin suffers. So, getting your automatic negative thoughts under control is probably one of the best things that you can do for your health. And I am going to teach you how. So, one way to start getting your automatic negative thoughts under control is to name them, right? Because often these automatic negative thoughts, they're not coming from us. We pick them up somewhere along the way. And if we can figure out who gave us these automatic negative thoughts or what their persona is, then we can start having a conversation with them and changing their mind about what we need to be doing, right? So, as an example, the one that I see the most with my clients is mothers and fathers, right? And this is the things that they said to us to help us fit in, to stay safe. And I'll give you an example from mine. My mother is a beautiful woman and she's just perfect in her presentation every single time. And then she got a kid like me who would just much rather run around and play in the mud. And so there was a lot of reinforcement around the topics of how do we present ourselves? How do we dress? Da 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 da. And it took me a while to realize that the stress that I was having around my wardrobe was coming from my mother, not in a bad way. She's fantastic, but that was something that was very important to her. And so when I would hear that voice saying, well, that doesn't look good, or that's not a good enough outfit, I'd say, okay, Judy, like, I'm just going to pick up the kids, like, relax, right? And so when you give them a voice, then you can start having a conversation with your automatic negative thoughts. And you can tell them, like, hey, simmer down. Like, this is my life. I'm living it my way. But you can also ask them, hey, what are you trying to tell me here? Like, why is this so important to you? Who set this rule? Who set this standard? Right? So you name it. And then when that automatic negative thought comes up, you go, hey, Susie, pipe down. Or hey, John, no, that report was good enough, right? You start having a conversation and asserting yourself as a sovereign individual. You are here to live your best life and you control the conversation that happens inside your head. So, as said, once we start naming, identifying, and having an actual conversation, actual dialogue with these voices inside our head, not only are we externalizing it, but we're also starting to have some fun with it. And we're starting to control the narrative, which is really what living our best mental life is all about. Like, we control the narrative that happens inside of our head. Now, whether or not the negative voice inside your head comes from you or somebody else, I want you to start challenging it. Challenging your inner critic is one of the best ways to silence it. Because again, our inner critic's job here is to keep us safe, to keep us protected, to keep us fitting in. And we don't necessarily need that. Maybe we want to be exceptional and stand out and do wild, crazy, daring things. I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's why you're following me, because you want to live more me first. So we're going to challenge them. So when a negative thought comes up, sit with it and ask it like, hey, do I really need to follow this protocol? Is this really what we're here to do? Right? What are you trying to protect me from? And then you will discover what it is it's trying to protect you from. And you decide, not the critic, but you, your inner you decides whether or not you want to take this risk or not, whether or not you want to rock the boat or not, because that is your right, right? You are here to live your best life. And you get to decide whether or not the inner critic is right or wrong. And you get to make the decision no matter what they say. Now, one of my favorite tools for fixing your automatic negative thoughts is the negative thought converter. This is a simple process, but a lengthy one. So, when you have a negative thought, here's what you're going to do. First step, you are going to assess, how true do I believe this thought to be, right? My boss hates me. I believe that to be true 90% because I am stressed out and I'm in my worst element right now. And then you are going to write down what a possible distortion is that's happening here. So there are several common negative distortions that happen. They've been well documented, but there's all or nothing thinking, black or white thinking, catastrophizing, putting the blame on others, putting the blame on yourself, right? I'll put the whole list in the description of this video. But once you understand these cognitive distortions, then you can take the filter out, right? So my boss hates me. I'm getting fired. Right now, I'm engaging in black and white thinking and catastrophizing. So what could an alternative explanation be? Alternative explanation is, my boss is under a shit ton of stress. They just had a really bad day. I messed up on this project. I missed a deadline, whatever the case is, I didn't do well enough. And that happens, right? That's part of being a professional. That's part of doing anything human, is we mess up and then we learn from our mistakes. So once you have identified the filter and the possible other explanation, you revisit the original thought. How true do I believe this thought to be? Okay, my boss hates me. It was a 90 when I started. Okay, now it's around a 30, right? And you can redo this several times and kind of flesh it out in as much detail as you want. But the point is, you assess how strongly you believe it to be true. You want a number from 0 to 100 because that's going to give you that anchor. Then you're going to figure out what your distortion might be. You're going to write the alternative, and then you are going to reassess how strongly you feel that emotion. Because oftentimes, again, our body, as soon as we're stressed out, as soon as something negative happens, it floods our system with cortisol. It's like we're in fight or flight, we're fighting for our life here. And this process slows everything down, it pulls everything back, and it gives you the perspective that you need to get back into your body, to get back into your rightful mind, and to make the right decision for the situation. Now, one of the tools that I've been using a lot lately and that a lot of my clients are loving is the simple pattern interrupt. When you are dealing with automatic negative thoughts, you can choose to interrupt them and have fun with it, right? Because again, we're running the show. So whenever something happens in my life that I don't love, I simply say out loud, well, that's not my reality. That's not how this is going to work out. And whether it's true or not, I've interrupted that thought that's already sending my body into a panicked spiral, or that's making me feel grumpy or depressed, right? It's like, I don't want that reality. And here's what happens in your brain. Your brain suddenly opens up a window and goes, oh yeah, there are other options, right? Because when we're stuck in negative thoughts, or when we're hit with like a really big negative thought, our brain shuts down and it focuses on the problem. But when I say, that's not my problem, nope, I reject. I don't want that in my reality. Our brain expands again and goes, okay, well, what's the alternative here? How can we do something else? And you'll be surprised how easy this one sentence of your choice will interrupt the pattern and get you back into a happier, healthier place. Now, it's really important that you know that when you're getting rid of your automatic negative thoughts, that it is your job to fill that space with something else. Because if you create a void, more of the same thing will come in. And so I want you to start replacing those patterns. And that is as simple as acknowledging good things that have happened to you or good things that you have done, right? Even if the cake you baked wasn't perfect, hey, I just made a yummy cake, right? For me, I clean my kitchen spotless every single night. I have time to do that because my closet is a mess, but my kitchen is important because I'm not a morning person. If I can't find a clean cup in the morning, I'm a very, very grumpy person. And so every night after I finish, I say, thank you for doing that, Jen. You're amazing. I appreciate it. And then every morning when I wake up, I say to myself, thank you, Jen, for cleaning the kitchen last night. Right. And this is so simple, but a lot of us walk through the day with this, oh, we're not doing enough. Oh, we're not doing enough. Oh, we're not doing enough. When really we are doing a lot every day, and we need to start giving ourselves gratitude for that. So find things that you can do every day or as much as you can and say, hey, you got the kids home safe. Thank you, Jen. That's amazing. Hey, you didn't completely lose your mind. Thank you, Jen. Right? And you will notice that slowly your brain starts filling with this more positive energy that actually supports you in the things that you want to do. Again, our brain is designed with these automatic negative thoughts to keep us safe, to keep us small, to keep us hardworking. But if you're here to live a life that you truly, truly love, that you're excited for, you need to get started on the process of actually showing up to reward yourself for doing the things that you want to do in life. Now, if you want to learn more about how to build a life and live a life that you actually truly love, follow along. This is all that I do. I've got a book coming out on it, and I'll be publishing videos here. So I'm happy to share this journey with you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.